So they send they red bone witches, you know what I mean, into Hollywood so that they can affect real women in the real world lives. So, you know, you got Taraji, who clearly says she worked at the Pentagon. Yeah, you know, I worked at the Pentagon, and you know what I mean? Nothing but a Fed agent. What was her first movie? Got to be Baby Boy, you know, got to be the Hood movie. Then from that, she go to Hustle, you know, down the line, she go to Hustle and Flow and so forth. To then she's a so-called black woman on dealing with piloting on what was the one movie that she had with Kerry Washington when they was on there dealing with the pilots, this first so-called black pilot women, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That's the stuff they do. You know, they got to like level them up. You know, they always got to start out being the new, and then they rise them up into higher roles, you know, to try to affect women. Yeah, you know, we go from, we could be, you know, we deal with the men like the Baby Boy to where she ain't dealing with it no more, and she's the first so-called black flying planes, you know what I'm saying? So that get women to say, you know, that's how they want to affect real women. You know, these men ain't nothing but Jodies out here. You know, you go deal with that. You know, after that, you just get your education and, you know, live your life for you and yourself. You know, be independent. It's just the rabbit holes they try to attack people with. So then that's how they gender wars work. Yeah, it ain't no real men. Well, you know, it ain't no real women. You know, that's how they do, you know. Then on the man's side, they got the red pill talk. You know, it ain't no real women out here. Just focus on you, man. Just, you know, get your car, you know, hit the gym 45 hours a day. You see what I'm saying? Don't need a woman. You just build with your brothers, you know, focus on your life. That goes into the depopulation agenda. That's how they operate. So, you know, when you understand how deep this goes, that pool go into that hippo in the water too, you know what I'm saying? The hippos love the water because that hippo goes right to that Hippocratic oath, which goes straight into Lucifer, making that pact with Satan. Remember, Christ said, maketh no oaths. So, you know, all of this stuff all connects. That's my bad right there. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But all this stuff all connects. It goes right to that behemoth and that Leviathan spirits. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but the big elephant, nothing but the big hippo, the behemoth, warring against God, you know, trying to prevent the new kingdom from coming all day. So that's why you see I had to bring up that pool with Nunu. You know, it's a lot of scenes, or, you know, they love the beach. Really, they love that beach. But that pool, you know, as it's written, Israel's as the sands of the sea. But that pool, you know, it's like a controlled environment. It's a remote controlled environment because it's man-made. So they can, like, control the waters, leading people to the hell pit, that lake of fire. You feel me? It's very significant to understand that. That's why